Both of my daughters, Carla, a ninth grader in high school, and Mandy, who is in 10th grade, are very smart girls. They are not very popular among their boys the same age, which, however, does not upset either me or them. Rather, it is their own choice, since the external data of both is quite at the level, at least above average. In addition, it seems that thanks to their intelligence, even at such a young age, they are able to easily see through the insincere advances of their peers. My wife and mother of the girls is Amanda. I know my opinion is biased, but she is still a very attractive lady, a fit, slender woman with a beautiful figure. We met at a summer party in the same youth group the year I graduated from college. She was working as a secretary at the time and had just experienced a failed romance. I'd been warned that getting into a relationship with a partner who was in the rebound stage after a recent breakup usually didn't lead to anything good, and Amanda and I actually had a few fights early on. It is true that there was no serious conversation between us about an exclusive relationship, but I was still hurt when I heard some time later that she was again dating Nick Monroe, her former beau. This set us back a few months, but we eventually sat down and talked, and things progressed between us as they should in a traditional relationship. Amanda never gave me any reason to doubt her loyalty. I, for my part, not only never cheated on her, but, in fact, I didn't even come close to doing so. To be honest, I've never been much of a ladies' man. Even though I made a good living, our family was crippled by medical bills that depleted our savings. About 3 years ago, Amanda, while driving, lost control in icy conditions and caused an accident, collecting a pile of 5 cars. All 3 of my women were injured in that accident. With an annual deductible of $10,000 per person, broken bones and other injuries quickly depleted our finances. Only by taking out a home equity loan were we able to pay off the remaining medical bills. So even though my wife makes only a third of what I make, we still need Amanda's income to pay off our loans and try to save up for college for the girls again. I had never heard my daughters discuss beauty pageants before, whether it was in a good way, a bad way, or completely indifferent. So I was somewhat surprised when one day the two of them walked up to Amanda, giggling and nudging each other, and handed her a flyer with information about the upcoming Sexiest Mom competition. "What do you say, Mom? We think you could win here, and by a large margin." Amanda looked at the flyer for a moment before answering. "What's the point of this? I'm not looking for a new man, and, in fact, I don't want to receive inappropriate proposals from some idiots I don't know." "Yes, but we would be proud of you. Maybe you're just afraid of losing," Carla egged her on. "No," Amanda responded immediately. "Okay, I'll tell you what, I'll think about it." I wasn't sure what Amanda would decide. That evening, she had a really thoughtful look on her face. You could almost see the gears and wheels turning in her head. Waking up in the morning shortly before the alarm went off, I found myself embroiled in a discussion with my already awake wife. "Carl, will you mind if I take part in the competition?" she asked carefully. "Nope," I yawned. "It's completely up to you, and I will support any of your decisions. Understood? Decide you." This caused an affectionate co from her. "You got me. Don't worry, I'm not completely stupid." Amanda's hand slid down and my body immediately reacted. There was no need for foreplay, since she was already ready. The alarm clock chirped, signaling that it was time to get up, but I just impatiently waved my hand and pressed the off button. Being already close to climax, I didn't want anything to interfere with both of us. When we had caught our breath a little, Amanda said, "Thank you, darling. I want you to take care of me in the same way tonight, cowboy." Amanda purred and kissed me sensually. At dinner Friday night, Carla demanded an answer. "Well, what did you decide, Mom?" "The deadline for entries into the competition ends on Sunday evening. Who is our sexiest mom here?" "If it makes you too happy," Amanda replied. "Fine, I'll do it, but on 2 conditions. First of all, this will be our family event. And secondly, I expect both of you to assist me in all aspects of the competition. Both daughters immediately let out high-pitched screams of delight and ran towards Amanda to hug her. I faded into the background with great joy. Saturday was very stressful because my three ladies spent the whole day selecting a wardrobe and rehearsing the participants' speech. The $30 entry fee was money well spent. In fact, the main competition was for second place, as Amanda clearly looked like the sexiest woman among the rest of the contenders. And yes, she did have to listen to some very inappropriate suggestions. When you have teenage daughters in the room, you never know what they will think or how they will react to an awkward situation. Although my girls simply shrugged their shoulders and ignored the cheeky cheers from the crowd. For me, this was also not very pleasant and caused some anxiety. Do Mandy and Carla really have to put up with these kinds of comments and catcalls at school? Ah, the winner gets all the spoils. Personally, I benefited greatly from Amanda winning the grand prize. For just $30 of the entry fee, you couldn't buy a more passionate night of sex with the official queen of mature beauty. As soon as my wife and I were alone, I received an exclusive striptease from the first winner of the competition. Of course, I gave it 10 out of 10. And then there was a long night of sex, with short breaks for rest and recovery. As they say, Monday is a hard day, so the morning that came after such a hard night was truly a difficult test for both of us. The four of us were gathered around the dinner table when Amanda proudly announced, "Having won yesterday's competition, I now have the right to participate in regional competitions." "Dope," Mandy immediately burst out. "Excuse me, young lady, what did you say?" Amanda asked, frowning. Dope? Well, it's kind of cool. Awesome. Keep up with the times, Mom," our advanced eldest daughter explained condescendingly. Oh. I pressed Amanda for details. "So, what does this mean?" "Well, they are holding another, only larger competition. The rules are the same, but there will probably be more applicants. I'll need a different speech and sexier outfits." "Sounds cool. Is the place the same as last time?" I asked her a question. "No, it will be in Dallas, on the second Sunday of next month." It's 600 miles from here," I drawled. "Do they give you money to cover expenses?" "No, as far as I know." "Okay, forget I mentioned it. We can't afford to go there," Amanda sighed. "But, Mom, you have to go." Mandy intervened energetically. "We'll make this our family vacation this year." "What to do in Dallas?" "I don't know. Your father and I will talk about this," Amanda answered thoughtfully, looking at me with a meaningful look. The talk meant that I would have the best sex I had ever had since Amanda and I got married. The variety and frequency of our sessions was already making my knees weak. With promises of continued further pleasures, our vacation this year now consisted of a 600-mile road trip to Dallas. At first it wasn't too noticeable, but in the time leading up to our trip, Amanda had changed somewhat, and not to say that most of it was for the better. Yes, she was now more confident than before, but she also became somewhat more dismissive of others. Our relations little by little ceased to be equal, as we had previously established unofficially 5,050. The comments and suggestions I made were usually brushed aside as unimportant, and this began to bother me. I just hoped she was just nervous about the upcoming, bigger, more important beauty pageant. We left on Wednesday, saw a few sights along the way, and, arriving in Dallas by the weekend, spent Friday and Saturday as tourists. Fortunately, the weather was very favorable to us all these days. I paid for 2 rooms so the girls could have their own space. There was an internal door between our rooms, so we weren't completely on our own. I was pleased that I was again able to thoroughly enjoy sex with our contestant. If we talk about the upcoming competition, in Amanda's eyes again, as the first time, uncertainty bordering on fear was noticeable. Among the many participants, there were plenty of delicious-looking mature MILFs. Amanda herself, although nervous, fit into this delicious company perfectly. if our local competition was held in front of a modest audience of only 100 people. Here in Dallas, the ladies paraded in the presence of, as it was announced, more than 2,000 spectators. Moreover, I am sure that the promotion announced by the organizers, buy one beer and get the second free, was directly related to such an influx. Drunken laughter and shouts from the seats with vulgar screams of a sexual nature ruined the whole impression for me. Surprisingly, the girls sitting next to them again looked quite calm in such an environment. What the hell is going on in high school? Amanda's sparkling eyes when she was chosen as one of the 5 finalists lived up to all our hopes and lifted my spirits to the max. I knew what awaited me tonight and began to feel impatient in anticipation of mind-blowing sex. Then, they eliminated 2 more participants. I certainly hoped, but I didn't really believe that Amanda could win. One of the 3 remaining ladies looked and skillfully presented herself as if she were the most expensive escort on this planet. She was superbly built. She was 100% confident in herself, and when she spoke, every man in the building began to salivate. What a sultry and velvety voice she had. Well, she did win the crown, and Amanda ended up being chosen as the first alternative. It was better than I expected, and being rated so highly by the jury really confirmed that she is a very beautiful woman. After it was all over, all 3 of my ladies had mixed feelings about being a beauty queen among mommies. They quickly discovered and pointed out to me all the shortcomings of the winner. For example, the fact that her bangs weren't straight at all, her lipstick didn't match her outfit, and that bitch's perfume was deliberately chosen and sprayed so as to work as an aphrodisiac for the men on the evaluation committee. I knew better than to contradict them. Listening to their grumbling and teasing chatter during the 600-mile drive back home, I realized that this was a very special family bonding experience. Still, my $30 were well spent. Unfortunately, some things between us have ceased to have the appearance of restraint and tact. After the competition in Dallas, Amanda became overconfident and more ambitious, having caught some kind of star fever virus. Her way or the highway, it seemed that this was the motto that guided her from now on. My comments and suggestions no longer had the same meaning for her and were thrown aside as not worthy of attention. Something about finding Amanda in the spotlight and the center of everyone's admiration changed her, and not for the better. After 6 weeks, my marriage began to fall apart. One not-so-great day at the dinner table, Amanda announced, "Guess who was invited to the National Beauty Contest?" Carla was the first to react. "But you finished second." "No, I took the first alternative place." Mrs. Z, escort, refused to participate, and now I will go to her place. She smiled widely and seemed to glow, announcing this news to us. All 3 of us congratulated Amanda. Mandy demanded to know all the details. "When and where, Mom?" "Well, this could be a problem." She hesitated a little. "The competition will take place in Hawaii in 3 weeks." I stated the obvious. "Well, you'll have to refuse. We don't have that kind of money now. It's a pity." "I thought so too, but someone offered to pay my expenses," she hastened to interject. Was it just me, or did her voice change a little at these words? "Wow, really, Mom? For all 4 of us?" "Well, no, just for me," she muttered, looking away. Mandy didn't like her mother's statement too much. "Mom, it was a matter for everyone families. If you are traveling alone, then this is no longer a family event. Refuse them." The further conversation did not last long and did not lead to anything, so the house quickly became cold. We didn't talk about anything else that evening, and the girls disappeared into their rooms. Even a long sleep did not ease the tension that arose. The next evening, at dinner, Mandy brought up the topic again. "So you refused them, Mom?" "I haven't done anything yet. I'm still thinking." "What should we think about?" I intervened. "This used to be our family event, and the fact that now you are going to go alone was not part of our plans. And by the way, who agreed to pay for you?" "A local businessman, Amanda answered very reluctantly after a long pause. Don't dodge. Who agreed to pay for you? I raised my voice. Can we talk about this later? She frowned, still trying not to look me straight in the eye. I'm already starting to boil. No, enough omissions. Amanda, who agreed to pay for you? Nick Monroe, she finally squeezed out. So, this is your first love. Nick Monroe, are you planning to go to Hawaii with your ex-boyfriend? Well, isn't that wonderful? My voice oozed with poisonous sarcasm. Carla entered the argument. It's like a date, Mom. Weekend date. Married women don't go on dates. Amanda jumped out of her chair, almost screaming, her face red and distorted. This not date. He just pays for my airfare and hotel room. I blurted out. You're not going anywhere. Case is closed. And with that all, after glaring at me with a furious look, Amanda turned savagely and rushed into our bedroom, probably to emphasize her attitude towards the conversation and towards all of us. She slammed the bedroom door with a bang. Mandy said quietly, This is wrong, Dad. Don't let her leave. Do you think she's already met secretly with this? Nick? My stomach twisted and ached. Oh shit, is she really? I didn't even want to think about it. Rightly or wrongly, I knew I would have to bring up this particular topic when Amanda and I were alone. That night my bedroom door remained locked. I slept on the sofa in the living room. Both girls were busy with school work, so the next evening when I returned from work, only Amanda greeted me at home. Carl, no matter what you think, this is not a date. I'm going to Hawaii, she said first. With Nick? I don't know whether he will go or not. It doesn't matter at all. I'm just riding like a contestant. Clear. So now you are lying about something you know very well. I think this tells me where our marriage is at. How long have you and Nick been back together? What, oh, she bulged her eyes. But this is a simple question. You, damn it, know very well that he is also coming. Will you be living in the same room? Fuck you. Amanda couldn't resist. With your attitude, maybe I will do so. It looks like you don't trust me at all. What did you just say? I became furious, and Amanda, widening her eyes, backed away. Are you so crazy that you want to take revenge on me by sleeping with Nick? Then fuck you, slut. Sorry. Realizing that she had gone too far, Amanda backed off. I shouldn't have said that, and I didn't mean it. Why don't you trust me? And you still ask why. You tried to hide the fact that Nick paid for your ticket. Then you tried to lie about whether Nick was going there. Another thought came to my mind. Wait a minute, answer me one question. Before you came home and told us all about your new opportunity, did you have a chance to talk to Nick first? Yeah, I see in your eyes that things are dirty. Well, you're right. I think you're cheating on me with Nick. I don't change, she howled hysterically. He just called me to tell me he saw the press release that the winner had turned down an invitation to go to Hawaii. Sounds more than suspicious, I chuckled. And I repeat, you don't go, or our marriage is going to hell. No, I'm going, and this not a date. She stamped her foot angrily and stood with her hands on her hips and snorted like a fire-breathing dragon. And not a romantic weekend. I will only be there as a contestant. Amanda grabbed her keys. I need to clear my head. Cook your own dinner. I couldn't resist, venomously throwing after her. Running away to spend some time with your boyfriend. I bet that's exactly why you planned this whole scandal. Amanda instantly turned around and threw her keys at me, but missed, and then, like a tornado, rushed down the corridor. This time, the poor door slammed with such force that I might have to deal with splintered wood. For the rest of the evening, she did not leave her dragon cave. From then on, everything went wrong. Carla and Mandy communicated with Amanda very dryly, and only answered yes or no. Amanda herself completely ignored me. On top of that, my no longer very young back was begging for mercy, no longer able to stand sleeping on a hard sofa, So I booked a room at an extended stay hotel. Knowing full well that Amanda could hear me, I said quite loudly to Carla and Mandy before heading to the hotel, "Let me know if your mom is having fun here with her boyfriend." "Absolutely. Dad, better yet, take us with you," the girls asked. Amanda immediately ran out of the kitchen. "Where are you going?" She frowned. "I have a hotel room. You've been holding my bedroom door closed too often lately. I still came home after work. Of course, I mostly did this to spend more time with Mandy and Carla. Only after the girls went to bed did I return to my hotel. What I really couldn't understand was how the hell did everything fall apart so quickly? Why did Amanda need to be so stubborn now? Draw a line in the sand, something she initially didn't want to take part in at all. The day of Amanda's departure arrived. I was depressed. Given the way she's been acting lately, in my mind, it was an affair aggravated by her getting back together with her ex. Amanda's stubborn insistence that I was talking nonsense drove me crazy. After packing her suitcase, she waited nervously for me at the kitchen table. "Amanda, this is the last chance," I warned her. "If you go to Hawaii, then our marriage is over." "Stop being dramatic," she answered. "I'm going as a contestant. You won't ruin our marriage over this. This not date, period." "You're wrong. This is a date. You hid your relationship with Nick, and I'm not going to put up with it," I snapped. However, apparently, my words could not get through to her mind. "Stop it, Carl. This is not a date," she continued to repeat, like a parrot. "I will never have such a chance again. Can't you just be happy for me? I warned you. Don't expect your credit cards to continue working after you leave." Amanda just rolled her eyes and dismissed my warnings as something frivolous. Both Carla and Mandy, who had repeatedly lectured Amanda about how wrong everything she was doing these days was, appeared in the kitchen during our latest fruitless argument in very good moods. This upset me even more. How can they be so joyful when I'm dying inside? Upon entering, the girls said in unison, "Mom, close your eyes. We have a surprise for you." A wide smile lit up Amanda's face. She raised her hands to cover her eyes. "Do not pry. Don't spread your fingers. Let me help you," Mandy said, coming closer. She positioned Amanda's arms so that her elbows were pointing directly away from her face. When Amanda's palms closed tightly over her eyes, her vision was blocked. "Now don't open your eyes," Carla warned. "They're closed," Amanda grumbled. After these words from her mother, Carla took out 2 small cups from behind her back. Mandy carefully took one, and they looked at each other. I saw them silently pronounce with their lips. 3-2-1. A bright red liquid, which I later learned was called Red Dragon, was splashed on both sides of Amanda's face. It was fountain pen ink, a very persistent type that takes several weeks to disappear from your skin. As the liquid splashed onto her face, Amanda screamed, "What damn?" In response, Mandy shouted to her dumbfounded mother, "Wives don't go on dates. If you've ever seen a raccoon, you can imagine this picture." This dazed raccoon had a very red face, equally bright fists, and a light stripe along its eyes. Amanda's hair was disheveled and also stained with red blotches. The raccoon looked at his fists incredulously and winced comically, his mouth open. There was a tense silence in the kitchen. I couldn't help it. I started laughing and couldn't stop. Carla and Mandy, unsure of how I would react, were relieved and joined me in laughing and pointing. As soon as Amanda saw her purple hands, she felt that her chances of winning the competition were rapidly diminishing. She rushed past us, rushing into the bathroom, and the wild scream that Amanda made when she saw herself in the mirror is something I will not soon forget. We were still giggling as we followed her towards the bathroom when Amanda emerged a short time later and gave us a scathing look. Without saying a word, she rushed down the corridor and slammed the long-suffering door of our bedroom again. When Nick arrives later that evening, he rang the doorbell, but none of us answered. "Amanda, your boyfriend is here. I knocked on the bedroom door just in case and called out to her. I received no response and the bedroom door was still locked. The incessant entry ringing and then the loud knocking after a few minutes became unbearable. Swinging open the front door and leaving the outer screen door bolted, I addressed this asshole. "Sorry, Nick. Looks like she's changed her mind." Nick's smug expression quickly disappeared, and he reached for his phone. The raccoon's sponsor tried to call Amanda's cell phone, but it was in her purse, next to her suitcase in the hallway, so all his trills led to nothing. I hope Monroe spent a fortune booking a non-refundable hotel. After Nick finally left, I assessed the damage. First, you will have to replace the carpet in the kitchen. No big deal, because I wanted to switch to laminate anyway. A path of red drops led me from the kitchen to the bathroom. Sue will also have to replace the carpet in the hallway. The right bathroom set wasn't right anymore. However, replacing it will be quite cheap. Several towels lying in the laundry basket were smeared with red. The only thing that was missing was that no one had time to photograph the actual moment of the attack or Amanda's face immediately after it. "Come on, girls, let's go have some ice cream," I suggested to Mandy and Carla, and they happily agreed to take a walk. In the cafe, we had a heart-to-heart talk while enjoying triple portions of scoops in waffle cones. "What now, Dad? Are you going to divorce your mom?" They asked me a question that worried them. "It's too early to talk about this, ladies, even though it's clear to the three of us that what she's doing is ruining our marriage. She obviously doesn't think so. At the very least, we probably need some time away from each other. Maybe I'll have to formalize separation and then go through several consultations." Sighing, I described the current situation and my attitude to the problem. "Please, Dad, don't make us stay with her." Mandy's fears were not in vain. "I wouldn't like to see what kind of revenge she has prepared for us." We brought home a large pizza for dinner. Amanda's portion remained untouched. If she ever left the locked bedroom, it was only when we were not around, and her purse and suitcase were still standing by the door. Even though I still had a paid hotel room, I slept on the large couch in the living room that first night. That being said, I was genuinely concerned for the safety of Carla and Mandy. However, nothing else extraordinary happened, and for the entire Saturday day, we never saw Amanda or heard anything from her. I spent Saturday night in my hotel room. Hell, buying a new couch would probably cost me less than staying in this hotel. When we returned from Sunday brunch, we discovered that Amanda's purse was missing, but her car was still in the garage. I didn't immediately understand why, but after I received a text from Amanda, I understood why she only grabbed her purse. "Are you leaving me?" she wrote. "It's too early to tell. When will we see you again?" I answered her. "I extended my leave from work. Now I look absolutely disgusting. Read the next sour message. The longer you avoid me, the more likely it is that I will divorce you." My SMS warning flew towards the bedroom. After that, I heard the lock click and the bedroom door slowly open. We didn't need a photo of the moment it all happened. The scarlet raccoon is back. All I could do was not laugh, which, to be honest, I managed with great difficulty. Although our girls, peeking out from behind me, were not stopped from commenting by Amanda's very funny appearance. "Cool view, Mom." Mandy jumped joyfully. "I love what you did with your eyelashes," Carla added, giggling. "Girls, leave your mom alone," I demanded. Pointing to the bedroom, Amanda said to me, "Can we talk? Alone?" As soon as the door closed, her quiet voice was heard. "We had a good marriage, didn't we?" "That's exactly what I thought, although it was probably naive," I answered just as quietly. "Did you take your phone to keep in touch with your boyfriend?" "He's not my boyfriend," she snapped, after which she took a deep breath and pulled herself together. "Okay, I was stupid. Look what he sent me and how I answered him." Amanda took her phone, unlocked it, and showed me the messages. "Nick, it's a shame you changed your mind. Hawaii is so romantic. I think we could make up for lost time. Call me sometime. Amanda. We would not become catch up. I was going to a beauty contest. Nothing another. I never want to hear from you again. I checked the phone log of her calls and text messages. All I found was a single call to her boss's work number. All recent text messages were addressed to me or were replies to Nick's SMS. Maybe there is still hope for us. Perhaps this is just a ploy to catch me off guard, I continued incredulously. You probably kept in touch with him. If you really cared about our marriage, you would have told me about his contact with you. Unless, of course, you were the one who contacted him first. Where are the calls and text messages you exchanged? I, without thinking, I deleted them all. I was so angry with myself. Amanda justified herself. I just wanted this to end quickly. Now that you asked about it, I realize I had to share it with you. Sorry. I don't have any boyfriends. And there are no lovers either. He contacted me and I screwed up, okay? I'm sorry. Please don't leave me. Pleading notes appeared in her voice, and she sniffled every now and then. I didn't know what to answer. Silently, I gave Amanda her phone back. With worried eyes, she leaned towards me. Are you going to sleep in our bedroom tonight? No. We need some time away from each other. The amount of disrespect you showed me is not something I can quickly get over. This caused a new stream of tears and sobs, mixed with constant repetitions. Sorry, I am so sorry. Did I mention that our daughters were smart girls? Let me put an asterisk next to this statement. While we were talking, Mandy and Carla printed out several advertisements from people who needed clowns for children's birthday parties. After they slipped those sheets under the bedroom door, it was the first time I saw Amanda so furious. The tears instantly stopped, and she, like a rocket, launched from the bed before jumping out the door like an angry fury. Ladies, I'm still your mother, and I can make your life a living hell. Get out of here. Shocked, both daughters disappeared around the corner with a high-pitched squeal, and after a little stomping down the hallway, the sound of their bedroom doors slamming was heard. Left alone, I grinned. I think the lesson was learned by all parties. Later, in the afternoon, Amanda went down to the kitchen and, as if nothing had happened, began preparing dinner. Carla and Mandy disappeared into their shared bathroom. I laughed when I saw them appear again. The girls used cosmetics and makeup to give themselves the appearance of raccoons. Staying a safe distance out of Amanda's line of sight as she busied herself with cooking, Mandy called out from the hallway. Hey, Mom, you know how people support those who are going through chemotherapy and losing their hair? Well, they shave their own hair. What are you thinking now? My striped raccoon daughters appeared on the threshold of the kitchen, smiling uncertainty and looking warily at their mother, waiting for her reaction and ready, if anything happened, to run away again. When Amanda turned around, her expression changed from shock, first to anger and then to laughter. The relieved daughters, with raccoon faces, giggling, jumped around their mother. The group hug smeared our girls' makeup all over their faces. Maybe there is still hope for us. Amanda couldn't get more time off, so she quit her previous job. It took a month before she felt confident enough to go out in public without looking like a painted monster. Her replacement at her old company didn't do a very good job, so Amanda was asked to return to her old position. We continued to pay off our loans and began to slowly accumulate new savings. After 2 sessions of marriage counseling, I returned home. Amanda was convinced that she personally needed more individual counseling. Little by little, the thoughts and opinions I expressed began to matter to her again. It will take some time, but I think in the foreseeable future we will succeed. The results of a national competition held in Hawaii were published online. While I personally think Amanda is an absolute delight, the 5 finalists in the competition were in a completely different league. Let's just say that some of them are strategically super-enhanced mommies. Carla and Mandy whispered to me in confidence that Amanda would not have been a finalist anyway, Even they saw the difference between Amanda and those beauties. The payback can sometimes be quite harsh. Sometime after these events, Mandy promised one very shy boy that she would go with him to the prom. This happened a few weeks before she returned home from college, and by the time it was time to go to the event, she had completely forgotten about it. When Mandy got dressed up on the big day and was getting ready to leave the house arm in arm with another guy, her backup option, Amanda snuck up behind her and poured a glass of molasses on her head. It ruined Mandy's hair, makeup, and dress. "Mama!" The shocked daughter squealed in despair, frozen in place with her arms outstretched and the sweet mass flowing down. "Didn't my fiasco teach you anything?" The angry mother attacked her. "If you gave your word, then hold him." Mandy cried non-stop all weekend. Out of self-preservation, we all kept a respectful distance from her. Carla knows that her own graduation is approaching, and she is very worried about it. The new carpet in the entryway and laminate flooring in the kitchen look great, and I'm still wondering if I should give Amanda the stuffed raccoon I bought for her for Christmas.